All right, Bills fans, welcome back for another deep dive. This time we're diving headfirst into Week 5. We've got a listener fired up about the Bills heading down to Houston, wants to know every angle on those roster moves and what to expect in this matchup. Plus, the stadium wall is buzzing, and we had to tap into that energy.
Roster moves, you say? Yeah, everyone and their dog wants the inside scoop on that with the trade deadline creeping up.
Big time. So spill the tea. Any whispers, any leaks? Anything concrete we can sink our teeth into, or is it radio silence for now?
Sadly, it's still hush-hush on that front. Nothing I can definitively say just yet. But is interesting is how the fans over at the stadium wall are already dissecting every possible trade scenario. They're practically running their own war room over there.
Love it. So while we're all in wait-and-see mode, the fans are already playing armchair GM, huh?
Oh, 100%. And I'm not even talking surface-level stuff. These guys, they're deep in the weeds. Salary cap, positional needs, you name it. They're even scouting potential trade targets from other teams. It's kind of wild, actually.
I can only imagine the mock drafts. Or should we say mock trades flying around as we speak?
You got it. Okay, but for now, let's pump the brakes on the what-ifs and talk about that very real matchup scaring us in the face. Bills versus Texans. What's your gut feeling on this one?
Well, purely looking at the numbers, it's got to be the Bills, right?
On paper, for sure. But we all know games aren't won on paper. And the Bills fans over on the stadium wall, they've picked up on some interesting angles here that we got to unpack. Like, take the Texans defense, for example. They've actually been pretty good against tight ends this season, which,
Makes you think about Dawson Knox and all the chatter about him finally having that breakout game, right?
Exactly. And this could be his moment. I mean, sure, his stats aren't exactly lighting up the league, averaging around 4 catches a game, but it's how he's being used that's got people talking. There have been a handful of plays where he's this close to busting loose for a huge game.
So more of a potential waiting to explode kind of situation then.
Nailed it. And if you consider how the Texans have been playing those tight ends, especially their reliance on zone coverage, there might just be some juicy opportunities for Knox to exploit those gaps.
Yeah, those gaps in the Texans' D, definitely something to watch. But let's be real. All eyes are going to be on Josh Allen, right? And speaking of, we can't ignore what everyone's saying on the stadium wall right now.
You mean the whole "has Josh Allen lost a step" debate? Yeah, that's causing quite a stir.
To put it mildly, some of those comments had me double-checking my TV. Like, are we even watching the same games?
Forums like the stadium wall, they thrive on that raw passion, Ray. You're going to get those hot takes, those knee-jerk reactions.
For sure. But are those concerns completely off base? I mean, even I've seen a few throws this season. Throws that looked a little, I don't know.
A little off.
Yeah, a little off.
Well, let's go to the numbers for a sec. His yards per attempt, yeah, it's down a tad compared to last year. But here's the kicker. His completion percentage. Actually, UP.
Okay, so he's completing more passes, but they're not going as far. What's the deal with that? Is Allen slipping or something else going on? $1 million question right there. Some folks point to the offensive line changes. Less time in the pocket equals quicker decisions, maybe forcing those shorter throws. Others say it's deliberate. Stick to the high percentage plays, keep those turnovers down. So more strategic, less gunslinger. Could be something to track for sure. This Texans game will be interesting, though. Their secondary has shown some cracks, especially against those deep balls. Will Allen take those shots or stick to a more, shall we say, conservative game plan? We'll see.
Speaking of offensive fireworks, have you seen the Devontae Adams threads blowing up the stadium wall? I swear those fans have already got him photoshopped into a Bills jersey.
Oh, yeah. And who can blame him? Adams and D. Diggs. Defensive coordinators would be sweating bullets.
Talk about an embarrassment of riches. But honestly, how likely is a trade like that to actually go down? Let's just say it wouldn't be easy. Salary cap issues aside, we're talking about a top-tier player like Adams. Raiders would want a king's ransom, no question.
So maybe don't get those hopes up too high.
Probably wise. But hey, this is the NFL. Anything can happen, right? The fact that it's even being discussed shows you the kind of expectations Bills fans have. They're thinking big.
Super Bowl or bust, that's the energy. Love to see it.
It's contagious. And it's not just trade talk either. The stadium wall is buzzing about everything. Tom Brady's latest comments on the Bills, the safety play, you name it.
Oh yeah, what did Brady say about the Bills? Did he finally admit they're the real deal? Did he ever? Called them the team to beat in the AFC. And, coming from Tom Brady, that's high praise.
No doubt about it. Shows you how much the Bills stock has risen. They're not the hunters anymore, they're the hunted.
Yeah.
And the fact that Bills Mafia is dissecting every word out of Brady's mouth, man, that speaks volumes about how dialed in they are.
Yeah. They're locked in. And it's not just Brady grabbing their attention. You mentioned those threads about the safety play. I was digging into those too. It seems like even with all the offensive firepower, fans are really honed in on that defense.
And rightfully so. This is a smart fan base. They know a championship team needs it all, offense and defense. They're not afraid to put every unit under the microscope. And those safety discussions, man, those are some insightful threads. We're talking breakdowns of coverage schemes, tackling technique analysis, even debates about the best personnel groupings. It's next level stuff.
Sounds like they're practically coaching from their couches.
Pretty much. That's the kind of engagement, that attention to detail, that gets me fired up. This fan base, they're not just along for the ride. They want to understand the how and the why behind everything. And that speaks volumes.
That's what makes these deep dives so much fun. Tapping into that collective knowledge, that shared passion. So we've covered a lot of ground here. Roster rumors, key matchups, fan theories, even a little Tom Brady love. Big picture as we head into Week 5. What's your take on this Bills team?
Honestly, there's no better time to be a Bills fan. The talent's there, the quarterback's hungry, and the fan base. They're all in. Sure, there are still questions, always will be. But the fact that those questions are being debated with this much passion, this much knowledge, well, that tells me everything I need to know about this team's potential. It's electric.
Well said. So, roster moves or not, sounds like it's going to be a wild ride for the Bills. And with a fan base like that, watch out.
No doubt.
All right, Bills Mafia, that's our deep dive into your Bills as they get ready to rumble with the Texans. We've hit on the fan theories, broken down those matchups, even waded into those trade rumors. Now we want to hear from why you hit us with your predictions for the rest of the season. Drop those hot takes on the forum. Let's keep this conversation rolling. For now, you know the drill. Keep it locked right here on The Deep Dive.